I've lived up here since kids used to walk across. There was never a problem until Trump came into office.
It's so weird that video just popped up in my FYP because I literally just got off a phone call with an organization who's provided services for immigrants here along the U.S. Mexico, or here in New Mexico along the border. They've been like having a lot of problems with getting money from FEMA to support their programming in supporting immigrants and providing them like all of the food and services that an organization would provide for immigrants who have just newly arrived to the United States. And so they've been struggling to get this money. And then also, once the inauguration happens, it's likely that they're not going to receive any money. And so they want to see if the state of New Mexico, the legislature, can somehow support them over the course of the next few years, so that they continue to provide this like really important service to immigrants, but also to reduce the municipalities, like local economies, from having to provide that additional support. And this is such an important piece to hear from border residents, because border issues like immigration did not exist before Trump came into town. I wrote a blog post a couple weeks ago talking about how 9/11, right before 9/11 happened, I was living in DC, and President Bush at the time was touting this big comprehensive immigration reform package that was likely going to pass if 9/11 didn't happen. Now, I'm not saying George W. Bush was awesome, because he wasn't. But the messaging around immigration has changed so much since 2001, when I was living in DC following Congress and the DREAM Act. I know immigrants have always been the scapegoats. Like, anytime the economy goes bad, we blame immigrants. It's been like this timeless thing that this country always goes back to. You see it happening all over the world. As I was talking to this organization and trying to figure out ways and strategies around how I can be better supporting them heading into session, and figuring out like, are there mechanisms within our state government that can like help figure this out, it just reminded me of the fact that our nervous systems, especially those of us who've been doing a lot of this like work in organizing and advocacy over the course of the last 7 to 8 years under like this Trumpy situation, and even before that with like the Tea Party and everything, like our nervous system has not like really gone down. You know, we're like in constant heightened stress about how to better support communities, and trying to do the best that we can, knowing that there are people within our communities, especially our neighbors now, and it's becoming more and more that people who talk and look like us, especially like our Latino families, who are channeling that same energy that at one point was just like Tea Party people back in like 2012. Like, it's crazy how things have changed over the course of the last 12 to 15 years. The border is beautiful, y'all. Like, we are such a remarkable place. I remember going to school and somebody talking about the border in such a poetic way. Like, it's just one of those things that we only if you live here do you realize how beautiful this place is. You have to be here to actually experience that. And so that lady, and like many residents along the border will tell you, is that a lot of this like immigration scapegoating, the at least to the capacity and to the reach that we're at right now, it didn't exist like this before Trump. Like, it all came before Trump. It all came because of Trump. It's going to continue because of Trump. And even though immigration is going to get worse in terms of people migrating to the United States, because his policies are going to be so bad around towards Latin America, people trying to seek refuge here in our country. Like, things will be worse under Trump, and it's going to, like, communities like ours along the border are the ones that are going to get punished for that. And we are going to be stuck with really bad leadership if we don't, like, wake up and recognize that he is the culprit, his party is the culprit, and that their policies are bad policies. They're not helping us at all. So that's it, y'all. Sorry to end the week with such a sad reality that we're in, but I think that's why we have to figure this out together, you know, like, say hi to Yoko. We gotta stick together. We gotta help our neighbors, help our people, and really support organizations like doing the real work, you know. Anyways, talk soon.